All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about diamonds. Sparkle, love, and maybe one of the biggest, most brilliant economic illusions ever pulled off. I mean, think about it. We're all told diamonds are this super rare, super valuable thing, but what if that's not true? What if this entire multi-billion-dollar industry is basically built on a story? That's the big puzzle we're tackling today.
So here's the thing. The crazy price tag on a diamond, it has almost nothing to do with how rare it actually is in the ground. Nope. It's all about a super clever, century-long illusion. It's a mix of economics and psychology, and we're about to break it all down.
Okay, to be fair, for a long time, diamonds were actually super rare, no question. But then something huge happened back in the 1800s, a discovery so massive it should have made diamonds cheap enough for pretty much everyone. It totally changed the game, just maybe not in the way you'd think.
And this right here shows you that exact moment. Before 1867, you've got just a few little mines here and there, then boom, a massive diamond rush in South Africa. All of a sudden, the market is just flooded with them. I mean, so many that they were on the verge of becoming, just another semi-precious stone. But that's when a company called De Beers stepped in and basically took over.
So what do you do when there's a flood? You build a dam, right? Well, that's exactly what De Beers did for the diamond market. They became the dam. Their mission was simple: stop the prices from crashing by getting a stranglehold on the entire supply.
And the playbook they used? It's a classic economic move called artificial scarcity. But what's really key here, and you can see it in the definition, is that it's not just about holding back the supply. That's only half of it. The real genius is pairing that with a powerful story, conditioning all of us to believe the thing is rare.
And by doing this, they turn diamonds into something totally different, a managed commodity. Think about gold. Its price goes up, it goes down, it's all over the place. Not diamonds. Their price was carefully managed. For decades, it didn't really fluctuate, it just went up. Slowly, steadily, predictably.
So how'd they pull it off? Well, here's the breakdown. For a huge chunk of the 20th century, De Beers controlled something like 90% of all diamonds on the planet. They just hoard them in these giant vaults in London and then let out just a tiny trickle each year, just enough to keep that illusion of rarity alive and keep the prices heading north. It was, honestly, a masterclass in controlling a market.
But look, controlling the supply is one thing. That's only half the battle. You also have to control the demand, and to do that, you have to get out of the world of spreadsheets and into the world of human hearts and minds, which brings us to one of the most famous marketing campaigns of all time.
Yep, this one. A diamond is forever. Back in 1947, some copywriter came up with these 4 little words. People have called it the greatest advertising slogan of the century, and they're not wrong. Because it didn't just sell a rock, it sold us all on an idea.
And this is where the real magic happened. The genius of this campaign was taking a simple geological fact that diamonds are really hard and turning it into this huge emotional metaphor for eternal love. It literally convinced generations of people that the only real way to show your love would last forever was to buy a rock that they were told would last forever.
And wow, did it work. I mean, just look at the legacy. Even today, with everything we know, something like 3/4 of all engagements are still sealed with a diamond ring. That's not just economics, folks. That is the incredible power of a story that's been drilled into our culture.
But that old illusion, that story that's been around for 100 years, it's finally starting to crack. We've got new technology, we've got serious ethical questions, and just a shift in what people value. All of it is challenging the diamond's place at the top. And the number one disruptor? Lab-grown diamonds. And let's be absolutely crystal clear here. A lab-grown diamond is not a fake diamond. It is physically, chemically, and optically identical to a diamond dug out of the ground. The only difference is where it came from and, well, the price tag, which is a pretty big difference.
I mean, check out this number. A little over 10 years ago, a lab-grown carat would set you back $4,000. Today, you can find them for under $300. That's insane. Technology has completely blown the whole scarcity argument out of the water. We can now make a perfect diamond in a lab in just a few weeks.
And it's not just about the tech. There are some really big ethical questions, too. You've got the whole history of blood diamonds funding terrible conflicts, the huge environmental damage from mining, and this growing feeling that, maybe those certification systems aren't as reliable as we'd like to think. All this has younger generations in particular asking, wait, why are we doing this?
And this next part, this really puts it all in perspective. A diamond is just carbon. That's it. It's the exact same stuff that's in the tip of your pencil. The only difference between that multi-thousand-dollar gem and a bit of pencil lead is how the atoms are stacked together. That's literally it. So let's circle back to that big question. Are diamonds rare? The answer is a hard no, not even close. You look at other gems, good quality rubies, emeralds, sapphires, they're all way, way rarer out in the wild. The value of a diamond was never really about how hard it is to find.
So when you get right down to it, the power of a diamond isn't in the ground, it's in our heads. It's psychological. Its value is completely tied to the story we've all been sold, a story that taps into this really deep human desire we have for permanence, for things that last, for a love that really is forever.
And that really leaves us with one last thing to think about. The story of the diamond proves that so much of what we call value is just a story that enough of us agree to believe in. So the real question isn't about jewelry at all. It's about taking a look around at our own lives and asking ourselves, what other stories are we buying into?